Hello, WOT Blitzers. It's Littlefinger. Hey guys, the 8th year birthday event is in full force right now, and I wanted to take a few minutes just to discuss these icons here and how you can best maximize your efforts, potentially get a free tank or two out of this event. If you're liking the content, please hit the subscribe button. Over 2/3 of you are not subscribed to the channel. All right, so Tankatron, what the heck is this? All right, well, this is an event. It's a skills-based event. Yes, I'm sorry to say that, but essentially you've got 3 coins here. When you start the game, you spend that first coin, and then your next 15 battles are recorded for total damage. So you are playing for the CS52 LIS, the tier 7 medium tank here. Let's take a look at it real quick. Looks pretty sharp, Polish, medium. So in order to get it, you have to have 20 of these cups. There's 10 and there's 20. So we need to get to at least this point here on the scale, and that means 1,175 stars. A star is 100 damage, so that is 117,500 damage over 45 games, which equals 2,611 damage per battle average. Okay. The good thing here is that you put your coin in and you play 15 battles. You can take a break. You can come back the next day, 2 days, whatever. You've got 7 days to finish this event. The bad news is 2,611 damage is quite steep. I would suggest taking a look at your stats. Go up here. This is the damage. You can sort by your highest damage here and find a tank. Type 71, good example here, 3,300 average damage, and play that tank for 15 battles and see where you stand there on that scale. So potential free tank, skills based, gonna have to do a lot of damage. I think I did the math and it worked out to be 3,500 in order to get all the way up to the end here and get the camouflage to go along with that as well. So good luck to anybody trying to do that. Next, we have tokens. Tokens that you get in the store. We'll talk about that here in a second. Essentially here we've got several tanks. The PZ4 Gargoyle for 150, the Kunstpanzer 300, the P43 for 200, and we've got several Y5 year 5 anniversary tanks. This is the year 6 anniversary tank. Just real quick, if I had to put these in order of preference based upon how much they cost, I would say the P43 is the best tank out of this group based upon the number of coins you have to accumulate, i.e. amount of money you have to spend. Good mobility, really nice gun. It has that nice sweet spot, in my opinion, for the average damage per shot, meaning the downside here to all of these Y5 tanks is very low damage. You have to be on target. You have to be shooting a lot, which is dangerous, obviously, because you can get shot in return. A tank like the Gargoyle here, which has a super high damage per shot, yeah, that's pretty fun, but a very high penalty if you miss or bounce your shot. So P43 would be my first choice, followed by the Kunstpanzer, followed by the Gargoyle, followed by any one of the Y5 tanks. But I have to mention 850 tokens. We have got a crate, and this is a good crate. Yes, can you believe we have a good crate? You are guaranteed to get a tank out of this. If we look at all of these tier 10s, 7 tier 10s, including the Object 268, 4 Super Conch, Chieftain, the 907, 752. These are solid tanks, including one that we have not yet seen in stores, Kampfpanzer 50T. So, 2% drop chance for any of the tier 10s. So that's what, 14% chance. So you're going to get a tier 10. The rest of the tanks come in at 4.67%. So you are guaranteed to get a tank, and there's good tanks in here. So if you can build up 850 coins, you are going to get a free tank. I say free lightly because, yes, you're going to have to spend a good bit of money in the store. But there's good deals here. So how do we get up to 850 tokens? Well, let's first run through this bonus level event here for the 8th birthday and take a look at these numbers. 7,500 gold for 10 bucks, 750 gold per dollar. You know that is a good deal if you've seen any of my store reviews. That is a good deal. This is almost too good to pass up. 30 days of premium time. 10 bucks, must buy. All right, gold generator here. Not quite as good a deal. Works out to be about 650 gold per dollar. I say about because you've got 50 gold boosters. And the way I calculate gold boosters is you win 50% of your battles at tier 10. All right. And it also comes with 3 crates as well. So 650 gold per dollar, good. Not a great deal, but a very good deal. And then we have a 500 gold per dollar here. Just $1 for 500 gold, and that's going to get you 20. So you're going to end up with about 120, I think it was, coins here, so it's definitely not close. We've got a lot of tanks. I'll talk about those in a second, but if you really want to get that free tank, if you still have the 2x bonuses here, especially the $75 one, you're going to end up with 750. You're going to use this gold that you get to buy a couple of tanks, and then you're going to definitely surpass that 850. You might still be able to do it if you get the 500. And of course, guys, 700 gold per dollar here if you've still got the 2x bonus. I have the 2x bonus on these two only. You can see here the military budget, 375 gold per dollar is not as good a deal as a gold per dollar basis because I don't have the 2x still left on this one. So keep that in mind. Just wanted to see what kind of level of tokens here we're getting for these other lower dollar amounts. So let's go on up and let's talk about tanks that you might want to buy with that gold that you just got. All right, the Object 260, classified as a heavy tank, really does not have armor like a heavy tank should. It's got good mobility. It's got a really decent gun for a Soviet tank. You have to be very aware of this tank. You cannot play it like a heavy tank. Play this more like a medium tank that doesn't have armor. 15,000 gold is what we see here for a typical tier 10. So not a great deal per se on the tank itself, but you're going to add in those 130 and you're going to get yourself on that way to that 850 and potentially another free tier 10 tank. Kampfpanzer 70, going to give you 85, 9,000 for a tier 9 heavy tank. I enjoy this tank. It's got good mobility. The gun is troll on it, and the downside to me, 152 millimeter gun, is that it does, accuracy is not good. So you have that high price paid for missing shots and a long reload in this tank. So not the best tank out of the bunch. Progetto. This kind of might even fall into a must-own tank for me in the game. You're going to love this active auto-reloading tank. You don't have to have that consideration in the game. Should I force a reload at this point in time, even though I've got 2 shells or 1 shell still loaded, because the tank is always loading it. And then The burst damage, especially towards the end when you've got lower hit point tanks that you can just clean up in a couple seconds. We've seen the tank around, been given away for free, so I don't know how many people are still missing the tank, but 7,500 is still a little on the high side for a tier 8, as far as a good deal goes. The Skoda T27, it falls similar into the Progetto, but it does not have the active auto loading system, so you have to make that decision. But again, lovely burst damage, good speed, gonna get a few bounces out of this armor profile, not a lot, but two really solid mediums here, very similar in playstyle. So if you're only looking to buy one, I would suggest the Progetto over the Skoda. And then the Kanonen Jagdpanzer here. I really enjoy this tank. I love the mobility. I love the accuracy of the gun. It's not highly played. It's fairly easy to get the ace on it. Yeah, some people might say the Scorpion's a little bit better. But I just love the fact that you can stay in the back with this tank, use its high accuracy gun, and start doing some damage. And then when you've got lower hit point tanks around you, you can crash in on them and just use your damage per minute to just wipe them away. And for 6,500, I think this is one of the better deals out here on a price point. The Tier 8 T2020. The tank's gotten better. I have not played it a whole lot of times, but it is that Tier 8 tried and true heavy play style, pike nose, etc., etc. So you've probably already got tanks very similar to this, but a Tier 8 for 5,500, that's a good deal. But again, like I said, you've probably already got 4 or 5 tanks very similar to that in your garage. The T54, highly armored, not highly armored, but you get a lot of bounces out of this, especially turning it sideways and getting it hold down a little bit, and it's a little bit less mobility because of the amount of armor on this tank, which is why it's not one of my favorite mediums. But again, Tier 8, 4,500, it's a nice price there for a premium tank. Tier 8 FCM 50 ton, 4,000 gold for a premium tank. It's a steal. It's a good deal. I enjoy playing this tank and I love the mobility on it. Chieftain, I don't know. It really depends on your playstyle and what else you've got in your garage. But to be able to pick up a tank at Tier 8 for 4,000 gold, these are steals of prices. They're not top of the line OP tanks, but again, 4,000. We haven't seen prices like this. I think the Chieftain was last in store for 5,000, so it's 20% off. Again, a nice little hold down tank. British do have to fire a little bit more with a low damage gun. Same with the FV here at Tier 7, the FV 201, but 2,500 gold for a Tier 7. The AT-15A, a tough tank to play because of its lack of mobility and anyone penning the hatch. But hey, 2,000 gold. You've got some great prices here as we end with the Churchill at Tier 6. Don't like the mobility on this thing. And the AC Sentinel, which is a better tank for the price there of 1,000. So, guys, there's certainly some good deals to be had here. You can use your 2x bonus to get gold and pick up a couple tanks, and then you should be able to open up that crate with a guaranteed tank in it for free, and hopefully you get one of those juicy Tier 10 tanks. So the 8th year birthday in full effect right now. And as always, guys, have fun out there. Stay safe, get educated, not fingered. Littlefinger out.